Let's dive right into the code starting with base navigation form. The main class for the top level forms is the base navigation form. Here we have the material commands in the side menu that allow us to navigate to the other top level forms. The title of the forms is really a text field as it's editable in place. The trick in making a text field feel like a title is to style it as such, which is why we created navigation title UIID. And that style has 0 margin, 1 millimeter of padding with 5 millimeter white font that's aligned to the left. That looks and feels like a title. One important thing to notice is the left align, which doesn't match the iOS convention. Center aligned text fields are flaky across platforms, so we don't support them properly. That's why we use left alignment here. The tagline is similarly a text field with the right styling. Technically, the styling derives navigation title, so we can be in sync with changes to the title style. It just uses a smaller 3 millimeter font. In case this wasn't clear, these UIIDs map to the title and subtitle of the form right here. Moving on, the Edit Background UI on the bottom right portion of the form maps to this button, which allows us to edit the background image in the title area. You will notice we use the constructor that accepts the button label and UIID. The Edit Background UIID is styled to match the navigation title, but it also adds padding to the bottom, so the text doesn't appear within the white area. I'll talk about that more in the next section. Besides that, the other interesting thing about this UIID is the right alignment, which we use to make it sure it appears to the right of the icon. The background image is just a scaled image label that stretches all across. We added a 4 millimeter margin to the bottom of this background image, and that allows the icon to peak exactly 4 millimeters outside of the bottom portion. This looks decent enough and works well for all resolutions since the size is in millimeters and the icon is also scaled in millimeters. The logo image uses a special rounded scaled logo getter, which adapts the logo's look to the design of the UI. Let's go see how that method works. The rounded scaled logo is just an image with no setter, so where is this initialized? When we set the property for the logo, we automatically generate this image too by drawing the image in the right place. Let's go over these steps. We have two important sizes here. Millimeter or mm is the size of the arc in the corner, and size is the size of the entire icon. I got these numbers through trial and error until I got something that looked satisfactory in the various device densities. A general path is a shape object. We can fill, stroke, or clip based on a shape. Notice that shape operations can sometimes be expensive in terms of graphics processing power, so while they are very powerful, you need to be very aware of what you're trying to do. A general path allows us to define an arbitrary shape we can then use in the drawing primitives. This raises the question of why not use the built-in round rect methods within graphics. Those don't allow the same level of customizability and power as the Shape API. They aren't as consistent across platforms either. Building the shape is essentially about moving a virtual pen around and drawing lines, arcs, or curves along the path. This is mostly straightforward. Here we create a mask from the shape, a mask for the image. We create a solid black image and we fill the shape area with a white color. Then we create a mask. A mask can be applied to an image to remove the black pieces and leave the white pieces. This begs the question, why not use shape clipping that I mentioned earlier? Masking supports anti-aliasing, which renders the elements in the corners with a slight alpha channel to make the corner seam smooth. A clip is a binary operation where a pixel can either be in the clip or it's outside of the clip. So there is no room for interpretation. Using shape clipping won't look as good. Furthermore, shape clipping isn't as portable as masking, which is 100% portable to all supported Codename 1 platforms. The last line of this code, we do two separate things. The fill method scales the image, but it does that while cropping redundant areas. So if we have an image that isn't a square, the area outside will be clipped and the center will remain. We then apply the mask to the clipped image to create that round effect.